So, what is MIP, mirror integration process? It's simply understanding that everybody's you. And if you feel separate from something that arises within your awareness, you integrate it. And by integration, I mean you come back into neutrality, unconditional love. There is no agreeing or disagreeing. There is no rejection. There is no this reflection, this person is better than that person. Everything is you. So my goal is, how do I be in that state of neutrality regardless of what appears? Why some people are more special than others? Because I'm still identified with certain programs. And I want to dissolve those programs. I want to go back into that truthful, blissful state of knowing everything is me and not having to be polarized into, I love this one, but this one I don't. When everything is me, you love everything in your creation because everything is you. So that's what we do in Reflectorium. It's a space where we just choose to want to see the programs by the reflections of others, by the witnessing of others in our truthfulness, in our most vulnerable state. And this is something I do on moment-to-moment basis. This is my highest excitement because it's natural for me to balance paradoxes as they are happening. For example, I was on the phone the other day with a friend of mine. She called me and I missed the call, and immediately my impulse was to call her back. Very unlike me. Very unlike me. First thing to notice, it was an impulse. I acted on it. And once I'm in the conversation, 1 hour through, I'm like, how did I even get into this conversation when she's just blaming and complaining about her reality? And I don't usually do those conversations. I don't align with them. So they don't easily happen in my experience. But since everything is me, and she's clearly a reflection of a part of me that I have no idea, I had to investigate it. So I felt the contractions in my body. I'm feeling, complaining, victim mentality, blah, blah, blah. How is this mirroring an aspect of me that I have no idea of? So I just stayed put. I felt through everything. I'm seeing how I'm judging her. I'm seeing how I'm not liking what she's doing. I'm seeing how she's basically using me to convince herself that she's a good person because she feels guilty of things that she's done in the past. So I'm analyzing the patterns that are being reflected back to me. So that was the mirror, but I couldn't still connect it with me. It was still her. She's doing that. She has those patterns, right? I still had the judgment as if that's outside of me. And I'm letting it sink in. I'm letting it be. I'm letting it do what it needs to do, my reflection. And once she stopped rambling about her life and complaining, I was still judging. I'm talking from the energy of how I was judging her. And then she asked me about my life. You want to know what happened? I did the exact same thing. And I'm seeing myself trying to convince her, which is, I'm just using her to convince myself that I'm a good person about some things that I did that I feel guilty of. So instead of addressing the guilt, I was trying to cover it up with a story about how good I am. And I'm like, oh, this cannot be happening. I was in horror and I was surprised and I was delighted at the same time because I'm seeing the program, how she was an exact direct mirror for something that was inside me that I couldn't consciously connect until she touched on a subject, and she went specifically to a certain subject that I really don't discuss about. But because she's my mirror, energetically, it's in resonance. So she touched that part of myself where I just got into unconscious mode. The program took over and I started rambling and trying to convince her of how good I am because I felt guilty instead of addressing the guilt. But once I saw the program, I'm like, got it. This is the reason I got into this conversation that I usually wouldn't get into unless there's something there for me. And I released the judgment. I saw my pattern. I saw the guilt that I had to clear, and I had to go deep inside and, do some more deep cleaning stuff. And I was grateful. I was grateful that that happened. I was grateful that the program took over, and I impulsively called her back. And I sat through 1 hour of her complaining just to get to see my own programs. She was just reflecting it before I even know I had it. So that's the mirror integration process. Anybody, anything that arises in your field of awareness, you're aligning with it for a reason. Even if you consciously cannot connect it, if you want to dig into it and you're open and you're willing to, you will find a gift. You'll discover a part of yourself. You'll get back the power, because the program is holding your energy hostage. So you're powerless when the program takes over your body, right? So you become more empowered when you take back those parts and integrate them back. So when we are vulnerable and we open up to the things of what is true for us on our path, regardless of where we're at in our journey, it opens up this doorway where everybody gets to resonate with your story, and it triggers something in them that they get to see, that you act as a mirror for them, they act as a mirror for you, and we get to transmute it together in love. Yes, sometimes it can get triggering, sometimes the energy does get intense, but we have all the awareness to understand it is all your creation. There's no one to blame. You can only but take responsibility of everything that you're experiencing. So it's like an accelerator. It's like a trigger room, a gentle trigger room. And you get more of you. You get your power back. You see, this is what we do in Reflectorium. If you want to join, the link is in the description box, and you can send me a message. I can jump on a call with you to explain further details about it. And we meet every week.